Hi, welcome to the Book Corner with me, Mish Atagana. Let's discover new worlds together. Hello, and welcome back to the Book Corner with Mish Atagana, the podcast where we are transported into enchanting worlds where our worldviews and perspectives are challenged and we get inspired. And also sometimes we get caught up in some captivating and spellbinding stories. I'm your host, Mish, and today we are going to delve into the beautiful and charming and witchy world of Rewitched by Lucy Jane Wood. Now, I think this book was sent to me by Pan Macmillan, and I think I got it last year a while ago, and it was just sitting on my shelf until I picked it up a couple weeks ago and started reading. But it's really a book. It's a book about like self-discovery naturally. Like I keep saying, if a book doesn't have a journey of self-discovery, what did we learn? It's about magic and charm and second chances. I also loved that when I posted about this book. So when I finished reading it, it was such a fun read. I finished reading it and I posted about it, and the author reposted me, and she was like, "Thank you so much." So I got a little kick out of that. So for me, this book, like when I look at it, it's like it's a cozy fantasy. It's definitely in that cozy fantasy realm. It's delightful. It's about finding your magic, both figuratively and literally. It's a story of witches. Naturally, it's called Rewitched. It's about friendships. It's about self-discovery. It's about, but at its heart, it's really about reclaiming one's own power, especially after a setback. So if I look at kind of the way it's written, it's super warm, super witty. The characters are irresistible, but they also all like this weird, quirky people who are just like trying to live their lives, right? But let's kind of get into it. Like I think when I finished reading it, I felt like it was like a cup of tea, like a really nice cup of tea on a cold day. That's what it felt like. All right. So when I picked it up, I was expecting a magical adventure, which I definitely got, but I also got something much more heartfelt in the way that our character grows and our character learns. So Rewitch follows the protagonist Belle, a witch living in London who works in a charming bookshop. Also, guys, it's about a woman who works in a bookshop. Of course, I'm going to like it. She lacks confidence in herself, and on her 30th birthday, she's summoned to face the witches' council. So it's like there's it's like the collective of witches in London, and their leader, the sage witches or the witch in charge, and she has to go through this test where this source of magic thing shows how she's used magic and if she's used it in a way that allows her to keep her magic. Now, for most witches that come through this, it's fairly routine. They come, it shows some significant magic use, and they go, "Okay, cool, happy birthday, enjoy your magic and your life," kind of thing. But because for the last few years she's had a bit of a strained relationship with magic, she lost confidence in herself, lost confidence in her magic. Her magic is used for petty, mundane things. She barely uses her magic. Her magic is practically non-existent at this point. And obviously this thing reveals that she hasn't used her magic well. And the process for her is both disastrous and quite mortifying, for her to kind of see what is going on. She sits in this chair. I love the scene with the way they describe it. She's sitting in this chair, and it's almost like her whole life is laid bare for like this 30, 20 something witches to witness. And she just wants to shrink into herself because it looks like to them she has wasted her magic. And up until that moment, she didn't realize how much she wanted her magic, how much she wants to keep her magic. So once the process is done, this council is like stunned and in no doubt that they should take away her magic because she doesn't deserve it. But someone speaks out for her, and there's got to be something. So the council is now divided whether or not she should keep her magic, or if they should take away her magic. But the way they have the conversation is like, in her adult life, she's not done well with her magic, but before her formative years, she did some amazing things with her magic. So they found a loophole, and the loophole is that she can go through like this series of tests, and after this series, it's like about 5 or 6 challenges. If she proves, or if this magic grimoire sees her worthy, she may keep her magic. So they're like, okay, cool, that's what we're gonna do. So as Belle prepares herself for these tests with an unlikely mentor who is an outcast in this witches society, so it's already, things are not looking good for our girl here, because first of all, she's barely used her magic, so she doesn't even really know how to do like a lot of basic things when it comes to her magic. So she's at this stage, she's like a bad witch. She doesn't really know how to use her magic well. Basic spells like backfire for her. And then they give her this mentor who has supposedly been cast out of witches society, who they took away his magic a long time ago, and now they reinstated his magic so he can help her. But like, this man has been living a recluse by himself. He's accused of like a heinous crime, but he's our only option, right? So Belle and her unlikely mentor are partnered up, and she starts like to like feel like, okay, am I even going to do well at this? But then there's like this other character who is part of this witches council, like their protector, who's not protecting her. And he's like, okay, I'm gonna like make sure you're safe and all right as this thing goes on. But as she begins this process of these challenges and learning to take this different series of tests, and it's not like she's gonna be on a stage to take these tests. It's like her and her mentor are gonna practice, and then she's gonna try the thing. And if the book accepts the thing, great, she's passed said challenge. But as she starts going, things are not quite right, so strange things keep happening. She soon uncovers that someone is trying to steal her magic. But determined to hold on to her abilities, she sets on to like uncover like what is going on, how to get past it. But she also like, she's a young woman. She just turned 30. So any of you that's turned 30, there's a crisis that happens as soon as you turn 30. You're both excited and you're both terrified of what life has ahead of you, and that's really what this book's core. That's what it is. It's the struggle of her trying to keep her magic. It's also her trying to navigate adulthood and being an adult. And we see many moments where she's just so exasperated, like she's getting annoyed with her best friend. She can't tell her best friend what's going on because she can't reveal she's a witch. All these people in the council, she can't really trust them because she feels they want to take away her magic. This person who's mentoring her, who she feels close to, she feels a deep connection coming with that person, and feels like it's someone who can take care of her and protect her. Is like in his 60s. But there's also the fact that this person's accused of this horrible thing that she hasn't brought herself to ask him about. So it's navigating life and navigating her craft and it all at once, which can be a lot for someone to manage. So but what I love in the way the story tells is like how, as they kind of go through all of this and getting her prepared, like her mom, her mentor, this protector that kind of assigns himself to protecting her, she discovers like this important secret, and that changes everything about the magical community, and especially for her family, which I thought was such an interesting kind of plot twist from Lucy here. See, I'm calling her Lucy because she reposted me on the internet. And she needs to figure out how to find her place in the world and protect the people she cares about. So it's really filled, like as a novel, it's filled with all this classic, like cozy fantasy elements. So you kind of have this beautiful London magical underbelly that plays into the story. The idea of found family, because she really does collect these people in her life now. They're like her found family now. There's like a satisfying process of growth and healing, which I really liked. But there's also like, for me, what truly makes Rewitch special is just this idea about resilience and learning to trust yourself. And that was the biggest thing for Belle in this book, is she just didn't trust herself. Like every time her mentor will say, okay, do the spell or make this potion thingy, she'll be like, I don't think I can do that. And there's a scene where he goes, why do you always assume you can't and you haven't even tried? And I really love, like, it's like this gentle man who becomes forceful in this one moment. And I think there's power in that forcefulness that it brings to kind of show that our character really needs to learn to trust themselves more. The writing style is infused with so much humor, as most cozy fantasy books are. There's warmth. There's a touch of whimsy in it. It makes like the book feels like a comforting escape. Like you pick it up, like as you can see, like this book was written for like autumn, and like you pick it up and in your like comfy sweater or under your blanket on the couch with your cup of tea, and you escape into this world. It's light, it's engaging, and the dialogue is full of personality, and there's so much wit as well in it. Like one of the things I love most about the writing is this balance between um, fun, magical elements or magical moments and deep emotional beats. Because there's a point there where Lucy is about to give up. Like the weight of all of it, adulthood and magic, all of it just feels too much for her. And while it's very cozy because it does delve more into like the cozy fantasy tropes, there's like the spellbinding moments that you don't expect, and you don't really like. Sorry, that you expect from witchy novels. But there's also like deep emotional parts, like self doubt, failure, and rebuilding one's confidence that also comes from a deep yearning of wanting more out of your own life. I really also I love the pacing, right? Like the story kept moving in a way that just kind of felt like it was like okay, great, all right, now I'm going to work and we're looking at this. Okay, interesting. Okay, things are shifting a little bit and we need to shift with it. So we kind of follow the pace, kind of builds gradually, almost to like oopsie, sorry, Mike. The pace kind of built gradually into like this crescendo, which I really quite like, to the end, and it's very rewarding. It's so much more rewarding, like when we look at the introspective moments of Belle's journey. Um, like I said, this book is set in London, so the world building, it's nice to situate when they talk about like her taking the train and things like that. Um, but it also kind of creates like almost like this magical space or this beautiful space that you step into when you start, like when I think about the bookshop, whenever they're in the bookshop, I always see that bookshop that she works at this beautiful magical place. It's like a city already full of history, but the author managed to create this escape, like the way we experience Belle experienced the city, or we experience the city through her, feels different. It feels witchy. It feels cozy. It doesn't feel like the rush and the bustle that we know of actual London. So I really like that. Um, and then the magic system itself is like it's very simple. It's basic. It's basic witchcraft simple, but it's still compelling. It's a lot more about the energy, the intentions, the connection, and like rather than like a big grandiose spell. And it fits beautifully with the themes of the book, right? Around like idea of self acceptance and self healing. Um, I also like that magic isn't just a plot device, because a lot of witchy books, magic is just a plot device. Magic is not just a plot device, it's an extension of the character. So Belle struggles with her ability. They aren't just about proving herself, they're about her identity. She doesn't want to lose her magic, not because, she doesn't want to not be able to like use magic to warm up her tea or make the bed, but it's a core to her identity. It's about her confidence. It's about her trust, the trust she places in herself. Um, I also love how we watch her reconnect with magic. Like magic is an old friend, and they're rebuilding their relationship. And in rebuilding that relationship, she rebuilds her confidence. And for me, that feels like increasingly and incredibly satisfying the more I read the story. Um, like emotionally, I felt like, you know, I could feel the weight of 30. That resonated very hard with me, the weight of 30, right? Like there's comfort in the story where it kind of feels like 30 is not so scary, it's not so daunting. Because Belle can navigate it, so can I kind of thing. It's cozy. I keep saying it's a beautiful cup of tea. It's like a lovely cup of tea. And it carries the emotional depth that really surprised me, because often, like literally, I thought this was gonna be a bubblegum book. I honestly thought it was going to be a bubblegum book, but it was so much more than that. I think was resonated with me was like the theme around self belief. I really like that. Many of us can relate to Belle's journey, that idea of feeling lost after a failure, which also reminds you a little bit of like, Painter in Yumi and the Nightmare Painter. So this idea of feeling lost, struggling to find your way back to what you love, and learning that your self-worth is not tied to your success or your ability. And that for me was that I felt that. I felt that. Um, the relationship in the books also shine, especially the best friend. The best friend relationship, the friendships are so like the her friendship with her best friend is so poignant, is so incredibly like thought provoking in how that kind of love can carry you through life. So I really like that. I also like that the reluctant mentorship and how her and her mentor grow. Even the touch of romance in her protector, that was also quite a cute little add-on. Like every connection felt authentic and meaningful. Um, like I think by the end of this book, I just found myself reflecting on my own setbacks in life and how important it is to be kind to yourself. Because I don't think Belle was very kind to herself in some of the like at the beginning of the story. And because I think a lot of the time in our moments of self-doubt, we forget to be kind to ourselves. We focus on the bad thing that happened, and we forget all the many good things that have happened before the bad thing. Uh yeah, so I feel like this book is a gentle reminder that you are capable even when you feel like you've lost your way. And how true is that in today's society for us? So I really, really felt that for me, this was a more about a story of allowing yourself to recover from failure than letting failure guide you. So that was Rewitch by Lucy Jane Wood. I hope you enjoyed this. This is like a beautiful little cozy book for you to read. And I hope you enjoyed this episode. And I hope to see you again soon. Please don't forget to go to Instagram, find me in Globemish. If you read Rewitched, let's talk about it. I want to see what you guys think of the book. Huge thanks to Pan Macmillan for sending me a copy of this book. I really appreciate it. And hope I'll see you guys next time. Until next time, keep discovering, keep searching, and keep being kind to yourself.
And we out.